Alright everyone, in this section we're going to take a look at the timeline panel together. The timeline is the most important part and the main structure of editing in Premiere Pro. It's the place where we arrange videos, audio, images, and effects over time to create the final video. In the previous sections, we added a few videos to the timeline, and by moving the playhead over them, we were able to see the video. We can also play from here and watch the videos together. If you look at the left side of the timeline, you can see 3 video tracks named V1, V2, and V3. For audio, we also have 3 tracks named A1, A2, and A3. Now I want to add one of these videos to the timeline. First, to deselect the part we previously selected, I right-click here and choose Clear In and Out so that the selected section is removed. Now I hold down the left mouse button here and drag this video into the timeline. As you can see, this video has both image and sound, and they are added to the timeline together. When we add this new video, since it is placed above the previous one, it means this new video is visible first. So we always see the clip that is on the upper track, and when it finishes, we move on to the next video. This means the video or image that is higher in the timeline is what we see in the program monitor. Also, if we have multiple audio clips on different tracks, all of the sounds are played together at the same time. Usually, we use V1 for the main video, and if we want to add text or a logo, we place them on V2 or V3. The main audio can be placed on A1, and other sounds like sound effects can be placed on the other audio tracks, which you can see here. Now, in this section, you can see these blue rectangles. On the left side, you see V1 written here. This means that if we add a clip from the source monitor, it will be added to track V1. Let me clear this and add the video to the timeline again, but this time using the Insert option. If I click Insert, since V1 is highlighted in blue, the video is added to track V1. Now I press Ctrl+Z to go back to the previous state. This time I activate V2, and for audio I also activate A2. If I click Insert again, you can see that the video is added to V2 and its audio is added to A2 in the timeline. I'll press Ctrl+Z again to return to the previous state. I can also hold down the left mouse button and drag the video directly into the timeline. I can even drag the video into the timeline from this section as well. On the right side, we also have V1, V2, and V3. These blue rectangles show us exactly which track or clip our edits will be applied to. For example, if I have V2 enabled here and I want to do an edit or cut, I press Ctrl+K on the keyboard. You can see that a cut is created here. Why was the cut created on this clip? Because we activated the video track, and since the audio tracks were already enabled and highlighted in blue, the cut was applied to the audio as well. Now, if I press Ctrl+Z to go back and this time disable the video track and only activate V1, then press Ctrl+K, you can see that the cut is applied only to the clip that is highlighted in blue. So the V1, V2, and V3 buttons on the left are used for adding clips from the source monitor, and the blue buttons on the right are used to control which tracks receive editing commands. I'll press Ctrl+Z again to return to the previous state. Since I don't need this panel right now, I click on the 3-line menu here and choose Close to close this panel. Now I add this video to my project again. Make sure that Snap is enabled and turned on here so when I add a clip next to another clip, it snaps and connects automatically like this. If I activate Mute here and press play, the sound will not be heard, and the audio will be muted. But if we have multiple audio tracks and activate solo on one of them, only the sound of that specific track will be heard. If I move clips around in the timeline and place them on different tracks, I can lock each track individually to prevent it from being moved or deleted during editing. For example, if I lock this track, I can no longer move or delete it, while the other tracks can still be edited freely. The same thing can be done for audio tracks as well. There is also a blue line here that, when placed over the clips, allows us to preview the video in the program monitor. This blue line is called the Playhead. The Playhead shows us exactly where we are in time. When I move it, you can see the time changing here. For example, right now I'm at 36 seconds and 4 frames. As I explained in the previous lesson, the first 2 digits represent frames, the next 2 represent seconds, then minutes, and the last 2 represent hours. For example, if I want to make a precise cut at exactly 15 seconds, I just click here, type 15, and then add 2 zeros so the Playhead moves exactly to 15 seconds. When I click here, you can see that the Playhead is now exactly at 15 seconds. If I press Ctrl+K, a cut is created at that precise point. Each of these clips can easily be moved, and we can also trim them. By grabbing the edge of a clip with the left mouse button, we can make it shorter or longer. Of course, we can't extend a clip beyond its original length. For example, if this video is 2 seconds long, you can't make it longer than 2 seconds, but you can shorten it as much as you want. I select this clip and delete it, then add another clip like this. Sometimes, when you add a video, a message appears saying that the clip settings don't match the sequence settings. In this case, just click Keep Existing Settings, and the video will play correctly. If I want to zoom in on the timeline, I can drag this control here to zoom in and out. I can also hold down the Alt key and use the mouse scroll wheel to zoom in and out of the timeline. Additionally, I can use the plus and minus keys on the keyboard to zoom in or zoom out. To fit the timeline to the length of the clips, I can use the # key, and the timeline will zoom to fit all the clips. If I want to cut and remove a section of a clip, I place the Playhead at the desired point and press the Q key to remove the part before the Playhead. I'll press Ctrl+Z to undo. If I want to remove the part after the Playhead, I place it at the correct position and press the W key to remove that section. For vertical zooming, I can also use this handle to make the video and audio tracks taller or shorter. This allows us to zoom vertically in the timeline. I press # again to fit the timeline to the clips. I'll make the tracks a bit smaller and return them to their original state. Alright everyone, these were all the essential points you need to know about the timeline panel. There are still many more details that we'll cover in the next lessons. I'll see you in the next video.